Hi, my name is Miriam Kellenbach, and this is my personal wellness plan. So in the first module, one of the main topics we talked about was health and exercise. So one of the main points was how to use exercise to glorify God, because our bodies were a gift from God, and so we need to take care of them. And one way to do this is through exercise. Another one of the points was about how fall has affected health and exercise, and one of the main things is affecting our self-consciousness. So now we are worried about our appearances more and tend to concentrate more on that than we would have before, but that is really just an influence of sin. And we also need to have a healthy relationship with food and exercise, because to take care of our body, we really need to find a balance between like what we eat and how much we exercise, and just making sure we're got a well-rounded health plan. So in the second module, one of the main things we talked about was body image, and how as a Christian we are a child of God, and we need to identify with that and remember that that is our main appearance. And so we don't really have to concern ourselves so much about how our appearance looks, whether we're too tall or too short or too fat or too skinny, because we are all loved by God and He has made us perfect and unique and different from one another, so we will all look different, and just need to remember that He created us and said that that is how He wanted us created. And we also talked about how social media and our culture has affected that, and just how especially social media has affected how what we view as like our ideal appearance, especially with Photoshop, and how they have changed the way they think a person should look. So, but we need to remember that our real identity is in God. And so one of the main things we talked about in our second module was sleep, and just the effects of what lack of sleep would be like. So how little you can function on little lack of sleep, and so we really need to concentrate on getting enough sleep. And this has become especially hard with our culture, because we have made it so concentrated on being busy, and so we are always wanting to be involved in everything, and so that makes it really hard to get everything done in a day, which takes away from our sleep time. I find this especially true in college, when there are so many clubs you could be a part of, and you can socialize with friends late into the night, so it's really hard to get to bed on time and then be up in time for class and still get 8 hours of sleep. And so in our fourth module, one of the things we talked about was spiritual gifts, which I found kind of interesting, because I've never thought too much about my spiritual gifts, but God has given each of us different gifts to use for His glory and to be His servants here on earth. So we need to identify what those gifts are so that we can work within our strengths. And everybody's given different gifts, so instead of all trying to work to be the same person and being jealous of one another, we need to recognize that we are different and support one another in their different gifts, and work together as a body of believers to use our gifts to His glory and work within our strengths. And so I'm hoping to put this knowledge that I've learned in Core 130 into action by making sure that I'm exercising consistently and taking care of my body with how I eat and how I exercise, and remind myself that I am made in God's image and work to take care of the body He gave me. So realize that He has made me how He wants me, and to not be jealous of other people's gifts or worry too much about and compare myself to other people's bodies and how they look. And another thing I'll try to do is try to get to bed at a decent time, and at the same time get at least 7 hours of sleep at night, and just make sure I'm going to bed at the same time so that I'll have a consistent schedule. And I also want to try and identify what my gifts are so that I can use what strengths God has given me to glorify Him. And that is all. Thanks for watching.